by Swami Vivekananda ji. The will to succeed is important, but what's more important is the will to prepare. So, with this quote, let us begin with why should you prepare for examination? Why should you have these hacks? I mean, not prepare, but why should you have the hacks to prepare examination? Yes, why do we need to do this? Because we always have lack of time. Yes. Some more things, guys. Why do we need to have these hacks for exam preparation? Number one, there are a lot of students who are last minute learners, including me. Yes, we all want to keep things till the last minute, and our brain somehow just opens up. We grasp so well when we are just closer to the examination. So, last minute learners can have a lot of stress. So, they have to know the hacks of preparing for examination. There is too much portion. There's a pertinent complaint by all the students that there is too much portion to cover. And how do I manage with too much portion? For that, you need to learn the examination preparation hacks. Okay, yes, there is a lot of stress. If you can prepare examination in this way by using some super hacks, by collaborating, by some innovative ways, it's definitely going to be a stress buster. You won't be anxious at the time of examinations. Then a lot of you guys, I'm sure, will be passionate about things. There might be so many of you who might be an artist, aspiring athletes. Okay, there are definitely some or other co-curricular talent that you have, and since you are busy pursuing it, you are bound to be lagging behind in preparing for exams, and therefore you need to have these hacks that I'm going to discuss here. So let us quickly begin. For preparing for anything, if you want to prepare a dish, you got to have the resources. If you're baking, you got to have an oven, or at least something to bake. You got to have all the ingredients. You might need a recipe. Yes, so put in the chat that resources are important. Similarly, while I'm preparing for the examinations, I get to have the resources that I'm going to use for exam preparation. Now, ordinarily, what are the exam preparation resources that we have? Yes, we have our textbook, we have our guides, we have our references, right? Now, let me tell you, these are the study materials. These are not exam preparation resources. Ma'am, really? Exam preparation is not, I'm sorry to say this, we shouldn't be encouraging, I mean, teachers shouldn't be encouraging exam. But this is a bitter truth. All the students are preparing for examination. I do not encourage, I want you to study deeper. And we have, under in Chemistry Express, we have various programs where I'm helping you for deeper understanding of chemistry. However, there is exam time, then we have to be smart. So the resources for examinations are these. Remember, these are not the study material, these are fast you know revision resources. Okay, so only the question and answers at the end of the textbook. I'm not asking you about the textbook. The question answer at the end of the textbook is an important resource. Past papers, your school past papers or the past papers of different schools are important resource. Gather them, come on, please type there, whoever is watching this live, or if you're watching it as a recording. Textbook question answers is a must. You have to do the textbook question answers. Every question answer from the textbook has to be done. Past papers, see if you can get the past paper from your school, from your friend's school, from any internet resource. Okay, so please type textbook Q&A. Second thing is past papers, you have to get it. Fine. Then, so past papers can be your school or other school. Okay, then we are talking about worksheets. You got to have the worksheets. Again, if your school is providing worksheets, great, do not ignore that. If there are too many worksheets coming in, ma'am, there are a lot of schools who are doing great work and they're just sending a lot of learning material. Now, if you are already lagging behind, then the recent worksheets is what you should focus on. Only the recent worksheets. Don't get bogged down. If you don't have time, look at the recent worksheets that are coming in. Start from today. Okay, then the revision papers, sample papers, model papers, this is all coming under the category of revision papers. Obtain them. Okay, so so guys, get into action right after watching my video. You might be watching it as live, as a Facebook live recording, or a special recording that I'm going to send to some of my students. So in that case, you have to start gathering from today all the answers to the questions from the textbook, past papers from your school, past papers from other school, worksheets, and also revision papers. You can also use internet, okay, to find them. If you are into boards, definitely you have a lot of resources. If you are in school, you can look topic wise questions also on the internet. Okay, yes. Now moving on to the, once you have got this database, okay, now it is very overwhelming for you to learn from the database. What you should do is I've always told my students who want to do things, more things in lesser time, first do all the objective types, finish all the objective types from all the sheets that you have. Do not go to any other topic unless you finish the objective types. If you have finished objective types, you have time, then move on to the short answer questions. These are usually 1 markers or 2 markers, right? So do the short answer questions. Then only then move on to diagram based. Now these are very lighter on your brain. You are not going to get taxed by it. So objective types, short answer question, diagram based are good enough for you to cover up the entire chapter, because if you do objective type, you can use a guide also for learning in this case. But in this case too, as a hack, as an examination hack, only do objective types. Any guide, any reference book like Together With, or there are all of references for CBSE, ICSE. I don't want to name them and confuse you. You might start looking out for the books in the bookstore. So objective types are like covered all through the chapter. Short answer questions are covered all through the chapter. Diagram based, situation based questions, more so in physics, you have a lot of situation based questions. Okay, if you rub a scale, okay, with a fur, or something, and you hold it near the bits of paper, if you rub your hair, rub your ruler scale with dry hair, and try holding it. So this is a situation based question. So there are many of these situation based questions in physics, in biology, in chemistry. So if the activity based, situation based, these are also very lighter. Then move on to short notes, and then move on to give reasons, distinguish. So these are basically what I've written here, are questions which can be easily done. But the hack is, do not move to any other type of question unless you have done the simplest ones. Okay, right? So now let us move on to a super hack. Guys, you have to gather all of this. You have to classify and learn only objective types. If you feel that this is, ma'am, this is too much, how can I get the test papers, worksheets, and all of these? There is a super hack, super hack, guys. Okay, type super hack in the comment. And the super hack is, you have to delegate. So there will be a lot of students like you. When I was in school, there were a lot of last minute learners. There were a lot of athletes, lot of stressful people who wanted to ease out the examination. Catch hold of them, devote 1 hour of work only to gather papers. Some of you can do worksheets, one friend can do papers, one friend can do sample papers, right? So, delegate it, make a group of 4 or 5 people, ask them to gather the sheets and put it together, make a group on WhatsApp and put everything on that WhatsApp group. So that by that you are working only 1/4 or 1/5, and you are really getting all the resources. Isn't it a cool tip? So delegate and then put all of them together in one platform. In WhatsApp group of these 4 or 5 people will be wonderful. Now we are concluding. We'll take 5 more minutes. After this session, I'm going to explain to you quickly about what next, what after exam preparation. After exam preparation, of course, is exam writing. So I'm going to talk a little bit about exam writing. So before that, what is the most important thing, ma'am? What is it? Tell us. So the most important is, remember that in your book, Whatever is highlighted, it's highlighted because it is the most important part of the chapter. Whatever is bold or italics come under the category of highlighted. There are a lot of boxes, did you know, and extra point that might not be included. So don't, I'm not talking about that highlighted. Talking about in the main text, whatever is in the bold, whatever is colored, whatever is italics are important parts. Write them down, write them down. Be very, very, very careful. I mean, don't miss that out. Summary points. After every chapter, there are about 10 to 12 or more summary points, or less, depending upon the length of the chapter. Do not ignore them. Write those summary points and put it into your mind, because there are questions going to be asked on those summary points. And last, and the most important thing is, your school is the most important educational resource. So the notes given by your school, every word, you should get that. Any important questions, any worksheet, any revision worksheet given by your school. So remember, this is the most important thing. So you can do all these resources and all that later on. Most important. I've kept it in the last just to, so that it doesn't get lost in all of this. So how, so summarize everything. First of all, why do we need to do this? Number one, because we want to do a lot of portion in less time. Then what is the first thing I got to do, ma'am? First thing you got to do is learn the highlighted text, summary points, and the school notes. Once that is done, go ahead and find out the past papers. Believe me, it's going to, you can revise an entire chapter in about 6 to 7 hours if you learn from past papers. Okay, so that is how you can master exam preparation. Okay, now I would like to talk to you about exam writing. Okay, so we are not doing it today, but I want to give you some information about exam writing. Okay, so why do you need to get into exam writing? Okay, just a minute. Why do you get to know about exam writing? Because however well you have prepared, you will not be able to do great in your examination unless you know how to write great paper. Okay, and how to write great paper, there are teachers who got to guide you in writing the paper. When you're sitting in the examination hall and when you're writing the paper, what ideas, what thoughts, what fear you have, what anxiety you suffer from, that all can be eliminated if you pay attention to exam writing mastery. So here I share my screen. So what are you going to learn in the exam writing mastery? When you do these sessions, you will feel excited while going for examinations, guys. Do you imagine feeling excited, looking forward to the examination? Not only that, you can score higher than usually you would get unless you have got idea of how to master the exam writing. So you're preparing the same, only because now you know what are the important areas you need to pay attention to while writing the paper. What preparation you got to do, how can you write a paper so that the same information that you learned can be presented in a much better way. You can easily complete any paper in time, yeah, unless it is unusually long paper and everybody misses the paper. But there are a lot of students, including me, where everybody completes the paper. I was not able to complete the paper, and I have got all these hacks from my own personal experience. Until my post graduation, I would always lose 2 or 3 marks of paper where I could not finish the paper. And if I have attempted 68 on 70 or 78 on 80, I would get 75 marks. So the mark performance was not low, but I would always miss until I did my Bachelor of Education, where it is a big, huge essay type papers, where I could complete my paper in time because of the hack that I'm going to explain you in exam writing. Not only that, the most fearful part of exam paper is the long answers. How about you're confident in writing long answers and you can get maximum score from the long answers? How about that? And finally, you study less and you write whatever you've studied. You put everything with lot of confidence in the paper, so that by writing whatever you have written, you get maximum score. So here, Darshana Phalke, at your service, helping you to write best exam papers. We have completed right now how to prepare examination, how to write best exam papers. You want to know about this? Put a message, drop a comment here, and I'm going to post a Google form along with this video. Fill up the Google form, give me your information, and we will connect with you with our exam writing mastery sessions. This is Darshana Phalke, founder of Joyful Learning Hub and founder of Chemistry Express, signing off. And we will meet next Saturday, 11 a.m.